Hey everyone, it is the Redmen podcast. We are back for another Redmen podcast in Merseyside Derby week. I am Paul Machin, Sam Walker and Steve Hoare join me for this one. What a time to be alive. Everyone's all firmly snuggied up in their hoodies for today, although Steve has returned to shorts. The world will be pleased to know.
Yeah, you guys unfortunately watching and the grass covers the goods.
I know. Yeah, well, we've had a lot of debate about how horrendous the grass looks on this set. It will go in the new year when we can get our heads around that. But it's it is hiding. It's whether you like legs or not, because you're getting legs from Ste all year round.
Yeah, pretty much. I've got a rule: I wear shorts unless it's below zero. Like yesterday, I wore jeans, and because it was fucking freezing, and I didn't like it. Like
calf constriction.
It was more like my leg. They deserve to be free.
So if you get in the car, right, if you leave the house and it's zero,
I'll go back in and get it.
And you go back in the car and it's -1, oh, better go in. It's, yeah.
If you've got a de-ice car.
Honest, yeah, it's generally, I look out and if I can see ice, then I know.
Yeah.
Or, sometimes I even have a spare pair of jeans in the boot.
Oh, okay.
So I could leave in shorts. And just, honest, no, they don't stink. I've washed them, I've wear them.
Oh, right.
I don't just leave.
But how long do you just sit in the car for?
It can be a while.
364 days.
No, because obviously I know circa April to October I'm generally all right.
You get it clean then. You get to go
Yeah, you bring the stick there. So
you got one of them little yellow trees on it that you get for your car in the back.
Shoved into the back pocket.
So if you see me on jeans on many of the shows, I've probably put them on like an hour before I go out the house. Nice. But I am sorry. No one can see the legs, but the legs are awesome. Trust me.
Top notch. Right, sound. Let's get into some kickoff. What a start! Show, I know, right? We're going to be talking Balon d'Or a little later on. We'll be talking Merseyside Derby as well, of course. All of this kind of links in, to be perfectly honest, and largely links into the Balon d'Or. But the first one, there's a bit. We get criticised for doing like post-Jurgen Klopp content because life's miserable enough, but everybody asked about the Balon d'Or, so we had it was slim pickings in the questions. We put a tweet out. Normally it's like a late Monday, but generally sometimes Ross doesn't do his job right and it's a Tuesday morning when it goes out, where we ask for your questions for this. So please, next week, just keep your eyes on at the Redmen TV Twitter account and get better questions in. Craig in Kent asks, of the big European clubs on the continent, which club do you think would appeal to Klopp to manage next post his Liverpool career? Brackets, which of course which won't happen, as he will stay at LFC forever. That's what good. Nicely caveated there, Craig. I'm really not sure. Is there an obvious answer that I'm just, because I think the obvious answer is everyone goes Bayern Munich, but I don't think Klopp would want to manage Bayern Munich.
He audibly laughed, didn't he, when he told that Bayern Munich had lost one time. But then again, listen. but then again, Rafa Benitez manages Everton now, so who knows how things play out. I could see him going back to Dortmund. I wouldn't be hugely shocked if that happened. That's the only one that really, because like I say, again, who knows, because people change and like money gets put in front of you and chance to win stuff. Listen, I can't see him being happy at PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona. I just can't see him any of those. Could he fancy Italy? Maybe.
I could maybe see Barcelona.
I could see Barca.
They're a bit more. There's more to them, isn't there, than like Real Madrid or PSG.
It's more than a club thing.
But if you look at what Pep did with them, where he took over a good side that was a couple of years after he won the European Cup, he took over, they needed a bit of a rebuild, and he brought all the young players in. You can kind of see Klopp doing that, implementing his own style like Pep did. You know what I mean? Just creating that.
But are they going to be anything? Are they going to be a fun project in 2 years' time? I mean, actually, maybe. But it's this thing. Sorry, Sam, but is that it's a bit like how they say you can't go back in like life. Some people can't go back in lifestyle. Like having been there and had what you want, would you want to go back to like a place where you've got to start from?
But they're kind of doing that now, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I suppose, I mean, it depends how well Xavi does. If he stays there, you can imagine him staying there as well, can't you? Doing well, sort of bringing the young players through, getting rid of some of the players they're talking about getting rid of. I don't know, it's a tricky one. You're right with Dortmund as well, but then do you want to go backwards? You've kind of done that. Do you want to go back on your career? It's also his age. Well, I don't know how old Klopp is. He's in his 50s, is he? So if he does do till at least the end of his contract, Liverpool, how old is he going to be? Does he want to have a bit of time off?
54.
Somewhere in Italy might suit him, where he can go in there and pick up a club that
Roma could be a good. I could see something again.
Like even Milan.
Yeah. Mate, you know what? I think...
Oh, AC Milan.
Possibly. Like a rebuild of a giant, maybe. Or, listen, I don't think he will. I think his next job will be... He'll have Liverpool. If he takes his break, he will. I think he'll extend his contract, by the way. I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll extend the contract, and then after that, maybe 5 years, when he's 60 odd, he might just take the Germany job, have a few years at the Germany job, and then jib it in. He doesn't seem to be a fella a la Roy Hodgson who wants to be managing 70s, 80s.
Yeah.
Klopp seems like he loves life more than that. I don't think he's going to leave. Everyone's worried that he's going to go at the end of this contract. I think he'll get one more for this reason that we're having now, because he'll look around and go, it's hard to take 6 months off. Where am I going here? Because everything is either corporate, global, state-owned, massive giant things. I don't think he fancies that. I don't really want to be too far behind those. Like, I'm almost in the perfect position, because again, I don't think he wants the state-owned stuff, and I don't think he wants to be shit.
He's also one of those guys who's going to be... We had this chat a few months ago about how, like, you're a long time retired, and like you can make bad decisions in that. Like, I mean, Kenny Dalglish famously was totally burned out after Hillsborough and with Liverpool and whatever, and needed a rest, but I think something he said like a month later, he was like, I was ready to come back, but I couldn't. Yeah. I was gone. He's the kind of guy that we were joking now, and I feel like this sometimes where I look around my house and I go like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to be that guy who potters around the house and fixes things and like I'll repair that gutter and I'll go and I'll do some gardening. But then we were locked down for 6 months. I did none of it because it's clearly not my bag at all. My mother-in-law did a lot of work in that time on there. I was like, and I wonder whether he's that kind of guy who, you're right, he'll go, I've got this idea, I'm going to be sitting around, and he'll just get bored. I think he's so hyperactive that he would, like the Germany job, I think he would be really
I've never
bored.
said he'd take that.
See, I think he would, because I think he would just like going to match. I just think he'd like to go around Germany and just enjoy going around.
But do you reckon that's age 60 though?
Yeah. So
like you said, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, I think he's staying after. I don't think he goes in. 2 years time? I think he signs again.
If you look at the Premier League, right now, I don't think it's ever going to get harder than it's been now. We all know Tuchel's not doing another 12 months at Chelsea. If he's there at the end of 2023 season, wow, you know what I mean? He's broke the mould there, because that's the way they work. Yeah. When this system gets found out, they might win a few more trophies. He's gone. The next guy's in. Nagelsmann, whoever it's going to be. Pep's going this year or next. He's already said he's not staying beyond next, but he might even go next summer, the way he's fallen out with their fans. And then you look at United, how long is it going to take them? Actually, this could fall very nicely into Klopp, into have being consistent with Liverpool, continuing what he's doing, and the landscape of the league kind of goes a bit like that. I think it could happen.
It just sees what his working environment's like. Yeah. How does the squad evolve? What is the next crop? Because again, it's how hard the job becomes. You don't want to be that guy who's like the Steven Gerrard syndrome of it's all on you again. So you've had it really good. It's like Gerrard builds up to 2008, 2009, and all of a sudden he's got a boss team around him, having been the main shining light, and then that just gets stripped away, and then he's got to stay because he's the thing that's holding it all together. I don't think he wants that, but sometimes, I've mentioned this before, I did a video on this on my YouTube channel a year ago or 6 months ago about the crapping, and you don't notice that happening. It's quite, it kind of creeps up on you. But no, I just thought it was interesting. It's a good question in some regards, because there's no you're right, like not like Real Madrid is such a well-trodden path, but I can't see that he would be asked for Real Madrid.
He'd have been there already. I think he could have had that job any time in the last 7 managers they've sacked. Like he could, if he wanted it, he could have just got out of Liverpool and went. Yeah, the only one that makes sense really is Dortmund, and I say maybe Italy.
But I just don't see why. But the AC Milan thing's interesting because you've got the Arrigo Sacchi connection. That's like, he's like his hero, isn't he? And the idea of kind of following in his footsteps and rebuilding another European
and living
giant,
in Milan sounds like.
And living in Milan would be okay. I suppose.
Yeah.
So that's a really good question. Now, what do you think? Let us know in the live comments if you're here live on YouTube right now, or you can just put it in the comments after the fact, or you can tweet us. Why not? We have another couple of questions that kind of link in to our discussion that will happen post break. But Ben Spivey says, can you think of 6 players better in world football than Mo Salah?
See, this is the thing with the Balon d'Or. It's not. It should be the best player, but it's not, because I can guarantee you, with every ounce of my fibre, Mo Salah's better at football than Jorginho. I promise you. Yeah. I promise you. And that might sound wild. I apologise, but honestly,
better centre mid.
Honestly, there's nothing in the world that Mo Salah doesn't do as well as Jorginho. Honestly, it's absolutely fine. But that's the thing with a Balon d'Or. Like, it's a nonsense narrative-driven award that we're all going to be clamouring for Mo to win next year. By the way, so I'm very much being hypocritical there, but No, listen, again, that's the thing, it goes on a year's worth of footy as well, doesn't it? In a year where there was an international tournament and Liverpool didn't win anything, and like, as much as like they all try to say, if footy players won't have watched every Liverpool game, they'll have watched the Champions League final that Jorginho was in, and they'll have watched the Euros maybe.
Well, he won the best award, didn't he? Jorginho, did he win?
Yeah,
he
the
won
European best.
Again, he's not even Chelsea's third best player. Never mind the third best player in the world.
Yeah.
But that's the thing, and it isn't just him, by the way. Like right now, Mo Salah's number 1 for me, and I think it's Lewandowski and Benzema are probably my top 3 as it stands this second. But again, over the course of the year, what I think should have happened actually. I think because last year's Balon d'Or was jibbed off, I think they should have done 2. You were voting for the last 2 years, and in which case it really should have been Robert Lewandowski who won it.
Yeah.
But and even Messi admits like he got diddled out of that one. He could have even given it. He could have said, "Listen,
he still might." Messi was pushing for it.
Yeah, just please let's post-hospital. Almost like post-hospital. He's not even dead, but give the season's dead. Give him that award. But no, to answer the question, obviously, like Mo Salah's, I think he's the best player in the world right this second. But the Balon d'Or isn't a vote of who's the best player in the world right this second. It's a political winning things. It's all a bit messy.
It's seasonal, isn't it? Because if you think of when the votes are, it's like October, isn't the vote? So you're not going to be voting in October on the season. That's just six to 8 games in with international breaks and all that, and they've had friendlies. There's nothing gone on really. Plus, players can start really well, like Pogba getting 25 assists in 3 games, and he's done nothing since. Do you know what I mean? So I think you're not really going to take that into account. So based on last year, where they're sick, I think I'll say this, and I'm going to get hammered in the comments here. I think Mo Salah was lucky to get 7th based on last season. He was one of our best players, but we went through hell. And he held in there. But last season, there was definitely 10 better players in the world than Mo Salah last season. And you've just named 3 or 4 of them. And I think Jorginho was better than Salah last season. Over the course of the season, what he achieved is consistency across the games. And you've got to take into account what they've won. You can go into a Champions League final against Man City. They just appeared there, didn't they? Oh, we're in the final, and he did really well.
It's funny though, isn't it? Because again, it depends what you're judging it on. And you're right. It's part popularity contest, and there's a bit of recency bias thrown in there, and there's also like there's the headline photographs. So it's like when you run through a list of like potential people, it's the photos. It's like you do like if you do a vote on a website, you put a photo, representative photo, and then you've got there's Messi with like the Copa America, and there's Jorginho with the Champions League, and there's Lewandowski with the Bundesliga, and and so on and so forth. Watch him Mo Salah picture when he's just there.
Didn't get top goal scorer, didn't get top assister. Yeah. So when you put it in that perspective,
but to the point, Liverpool were top of the league. We went top of the league around this time last year. If we'd carried on like that, it's
and also what pisses me off as well. If Bakary Saka, scores his penalty. Bakary Saka scores his penalty rather, and then the next Italian fella misses his penalty. Jorginho doesn't come third in the Balon d'Or.
Yeah, that's
got nothing.
And he missed his penalty.
It's got nothing to do with anything he's done.
Yeah.
It's just that 3 fellas for England missed a pen. Or like if Pep doesn't shit the bed in the Champions League final, that's the point where it's not based on pure talent. It is very narrative driven. Messi,
there's been a bit of these from midfielders though, hasn't he? With the Ballon d'Or, Modric.
Salah was well better than Modric that year. Like, why did Modric win that?
Yeah, it is that. It's a voting thing. I get it. I've always said I've got no issue with Messi winning the Ballon d'Or every single year because I think he's the best. And he had a very good start. He ended the season all right with Barca. He had a good Copa America, again, wins something there, his first international tournament. He hasn't done anything for PSG. I think he's got a couple of goals. He's done not much. But like you say, it's all based on the things. And that's why I think Mo Salah, I'm obviously going to speak about it after the break, is that he's got a great chance for the next summer's one because, again, who knows, if AFCON happens, and who knows where we're at with the world with that, but if AFCON happens, he's got a chance. I think Liverpool probably will win something. The World Cup isn't until next winter, so that's disregarded.
Yeah, definitely.
So
there's
no World Cup in the middle, because Mo Salah's not going to win the World Cup, Egypt aren't going to win the World Cup. But if they win the AFCON and Liverpool win something, then the narrative is written for you again. He's not going to get diddled out of it by a Summer World Cup where he can do as best as he can, but Egypt are never going to win it. Yeah, that's an interesting point. We'll pick up a little bit on the Salah conversation in a sec. Before I talk about something with you guys, LFC Forever did tweet us and said, what else could Nat Phillips do to win the Balon d'Or? It's robbed. Listen, he's probably better than Jorginho or centre mid. It's a shame for that.
I reckon he'd do all right in that Chelsea back three as well, to be honest.
Yeah.
But, yeah, honestly, and that again, I get the joke, but that's part of it as well. Like, what the fuck can Mo Salah do to win something when he's turns round and there's nobody left? With all due respect, Joy, that's what kind of is a bit infuriating about these things. I used to always like the PFA Player of the Year or the Football Writers one, because I didn't agree with it, but they voted Scott Parker once because he had a really good season. West Ham still went down, but he was really, really good, and that is almost fairer. He shouldn't have won it in hindsight, but you know what I mean?
With the risk of falling into the category of bitterness, and my mask slipping is what I should say, is that I've seen this with awards. I find it funny that like Redmen's won awards in years when we've done worse things than we've done this year. Like we made that Henderson documentary, which I think is the best thing that anyone's made in our medium, but there's no award ceremonies that look at individual content. It comes down to a lot of like, hey, let's have a fan vote, or let's pick a name, and we're never going to win them. Because Robbie is king of social media. But yeah, that's you're right. That's why it's a good point actually on that.
David Ginola won it in '99. Man, you won the treble. It's never been done before.
Yeah.
So it's either been a balance.
Yeah, listen, shit happens. Like I say, remember when Man City kept not winning it for ages? And Pep was like, "What are we've won it. We keep winning the league." And like Liverpool,
we are lucky in that regard.
Salah got it over when City won the league and things like that. So
we could do with him winning it just to prove to everyone that it's possible to win it at Liverpool. That would be a very good thing for the City and for the club indeed. We actually don't have an advert to go to. I need to talk to you guys at home for a moment, whether you're listening on podcast form or in video. It is the last day of review month. It is an entire which has got 8 odd games worth of coverage, pre and post match, instant match reactions, final words, opposition previews. We've also got a video that's going out this week exploring derelict Melwood. We got access to Liverpool's former training ground to go and have a look around and see what condition it's in now, which is mad. We've got an incredible back catalogue of documentaries and interviews, and we've got a 2-part special coming out on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day, the 50 greatest Liverpool players of the Premier League era, as voted for by you guys as well. So if you start your free month, you get all of that and more. And I mentioned the Henderson 10 documentary series. If you haven't checked that out yet, all 3 episodes and every single full in-depth interview that we got, including Jurgen Klopp, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Steven Gerrard, Jamie Carragher, and a whole lot more, all streaming on Redmen Plus. So go to the redmentv.com, join up as a club captain there, put the code Redmen Plus, all one word, in there in the discount code box, and you get an entire free month to check it out. But that code will turn off at midnight Tuesday night, so don't sleep on it. Have a go, see how you feel about it all, and hopefully get involved with Redmen Plus this festive period.
I've just set Ross's alarm for 11:59. Just so we know, it's just the press.
You'll be out walking the office puppy, won't
yeah,
you?
The office dog. We need office dog on the show at some point.
Yeah, we definitely.
When it learns how to control its bladder.
Has it got a name?
Shenzi.
Yeah,
but she needs to be a bit more toilet trained, and she can come in the studio.
So if you want some more Redmen office puppy content, then check our Instagram account out,
or the TikTok as well.
Or the TikTok.
There's puppies everywhere.
Puppies galore.
So why Shenzi? Is it like?
It looks like the hyena off
Lion King.
She's adorable.
I'm not normally one who asked about animals, but like it's. Yeah, the dog's boss. Yeah. Boss dog. Right, sound. Raw Copite asked us, which leads us into the topic, just to pick up where we were really. What does Salah need to achieve to win the 2022 Balon d'Or? And the question, to kind of kick things off really for this, Steve, do we feel that was like the last hurrah of Messi? No, and look, I saw you go into bat for this on Twitter, Sam, so I agree, by the way. He still had a good season.
What
Messi.
A great analogy, by the way. I like that. Going to bat for it.
Yeah.
He knows who his crowd is.
It's two cricket players.
But I got a little sense of the Messi thing of like, he's probably not going to win it again. So there is something to go, well, he finally won Copa America, so we got the international trophy that had been like sort of lacking for him. It kind of makes sense to give it to him. We saw the goal 50 thing, he was right up there again, in that Ronaldo was up there again, and that kind of stuff.
They're both that good. They're both that good footy players still. They're not what they were, but they're stay good. What does Mo Salah need to do? Liverpool need to win something. Like, that's just it's a narrative award. Liverpool need to win something. Robert Lewandowski might need to get injured. I don't know. Listen, there's probably a few people there, and again, going back to what we mentioned earlier before the ad read there, was they probably owe Lewandowski one. So my worry is the only way that Mo Salah doesn't win it if he carries on like this. If he carries on playing like this, Liverpool we will win something. are they thinking we really owe Lewandowski one?
Yeah.
And that's the only way. And listen, I wouldn't begrudge him. He's brilliant. Karim Benzema's having an amazing season. So there's ways that he doesn't win it, but a good AFCON will help. Winning that would be amazing. Does he captain? I think he captains Egypt.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
If he's the man lifting that trophy, if it happens, the tournament, if Liverpool win one of the big 2 trophies in May, that's how Mo Salah wins it. He broke the league record, didn't he? 32 goals once and didn't win it because we didn't win anything. It is about the trophies at the end of the day. Whether people agree with that or not, the Balon d'Or winner's always pretty much won something. So yeah, but like right now, I think he should be the favourite. I haven't looked at the bookies odds on it, and I might do that in a second. But like if I was like right now, I think he's probably it's him and Lewandowski the front runners, aren't they?
Is there an issue? I think I'm right in saying this. The African thing sometimes plays against you because your vote gets diluted a little bit sometimes, and that's the issue that Mane's got as well. Is that it's harder for Mane to win things because a lot of people will just put Mo Salah naturally ahead of him. I mean, that's another consideration. I kind of agree with pretty much everything that's said there, though. Sam, he just needs to. He personally needs to carry on as he is, and trust that the other lads around him continue to perform at this level. Because you're right, he's right. He needs a big shiny silver thing somewhere along the way just for that headline moment and photo.
Yeah, without the World Cup or the Euros being on, I think it's going to be down to the Champions League, isn't it? It always has been down to the Champions League. Ronaldo's of all... Even there's one Ronaldo one night I was convinced Messi got robbed because Ronaldo won the Champions League. And it is what it is. So I think Messi won the Copa del Rey and the international tournaments, the Copa America. Then he got most goals and most assists in La Liga, even though Barca were crap. So I think he did deserve it on last season in terms of all-round. Salah, for me, could win the AFCON and do what Messi did and still not win it if PSG win the Champions League. Because if PSG win the Champions League, flip a coin between Messi and Mbappe. Mbappe's got a shot. He's still scored about 10 goals this season. I think the only way Lewandowski wins it is if he wins the Champions League, because the problem is with Bayern Munich is it's like when Ronaldo played for Juventus until last season, really, when the mold was broken, is that you're expected to win the league and expected to score 40 goals because every single player in your team is better than every single player in every single other team, including Lewy's still probably better than Haaland. So there's absolutely no reason why you shouldn't win every game of football. I think they're already out the cup as well, Bayern, so they can only win the German League and the Champions League this season. So they're probably going to win the German League. So there's going to be nothing normal. Out of the normal there. Yeah. So he's got to win the Champions League for me. There's no tournament for him to win with Poland. So Salah's got a great chance, but for Liverpool to do it, for me, he's got to win the Champions League or get to the final and do what we did last time. Do you know, where he scored 30-odd goals in the league? The PR's there for him now, the Pepsi adverts, he's already a superstar. Like I said, I believe he was probably fortunate to get 7th on last season, but it shows his PR's there.
I think there's a bit of that. I think the PR stuff is a massive part of this, because Lewandowski does bits and pieces to it. And again, the point is he'll be doing a lot of it in German, yeah. So or Polish. So we won't necessarily be as privy to it. It won't be in our bubble as much. But Salah's doing the right things. He's doing post-match interviews, which he never used to do. He's a very private person, and Liverpool have protected him very well over the years. Because I remember even going back to when Liverpool were one of the PES teams, Salah was apparently a big PES player, and Konami were very confident that they were going to get him as part of the Liverpool deal, because he was an avid player and he'd want to be involved. But they were very keen to not throw him to the forefront of stuff. They just wanted to keep him aside. But I think he's learned that you've got to be on the cover of magazines. And I know, look, he was Times Man of the Year, wasn't he, 3 years ago or whatever. Yeah. But he needs to generate headlines. And it's the thing of taking your top off when you celebrate. It's a bit Ronaldo-ish. Remind everyone, get people talking about you, not just for the goals that you score. Do it for your humanitarian things. He was hosting that Earth Award, wasn't he? And he was all that kind of stuff. I think he's starting to get the brand right. And again, in a popularity contest, that's a big part of it.
I think that, again, we mentioned here, that the main thing that he's got in his favour is the no World Cup. Because what would have happened is, whoever did well in that World Cup, you vote, 2 months later, Luka Modric got to a final, didn't he? He didn't even win it, and was the best player in the world.
Got battered in the final, by the way.
And he was the best player, and he was voted the best player. I know, obviously, Real Madrid won things. I get it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we know very well that they won things that year. But that helps most case, I think. That's you mentioned before, but the problem, it's not a problem being from Africa, but but Lewandowski gets this as well from being from Poland, is that you're probably not going to win a major tournament because you can be the best player in the world, a la Mo Salah, and if there's 10 lads around you who aren't, like there's a couple of Premier League players and a couple of like bits and whatever. Lewandowski with Poland got some good players, but then they've just got Aston Villa's right back, who's England's 7th choice right back, to come and play for them because there's a talent thing there that really helps Mo's case. That I think the World Cup being in December really gives him a good chance. But if the AFCON takes place, he needs to do it. He needs to do well because
which is tough because that Egypt are.
They're not favourites, are they?
Yeah, no, they're not. Again, he doesn't have to win. Yeah, no, in fact, he probably doesn't have to go far. And that's the thing about it. It is the international tournaments. You can forget 7 months of footy to focus on those 4 weeks, and they get so much attention. Like again, what the fuck's Jorginho doing as the third best player in the world? Like, how's that a thing?
Yeah.
It's nonsense. He isn't the third best player in Chelsea. He's not even the 5th best player at Chelsea. But because Italy do well, and he plays a part, obviously, and then Chelsea do well in the Champions League, he does a part. Like if you ask Chelsea players now, right, all your players are going to be put up for a draft or sale. You have to keep 3. You definitely 100% want to keep. But how many will keep Jorginho? They'd all keep
Mendy.
Lukaku would be probably one of the shouts. Kante's better than Jorginho. I think Reece James is probably more important at this moment in time than him. So like and again, ask Italy, was Jorginho one of Italy's 3 best players in that World Cup? I don't know. Like Chiesa was probably the best player that they had there, and then the centre half.
Barella, the other midfielder, was brilliant.
The wing back before he got injured was excellent. The 2 centre halves were amazing. All gritty fellas.
Well, to the point on Barella finishes 26th, and so again, if you talk about the weighting of things, being the European Cup clearly has a massive say in this. I think adding an international trophy on top is that can be a decisive. That's a decisive thing.
That's a landslide victory, which has happened before, hasn't it?
If England won that, Harry Kane.
If England would have won the Euros, Harry Kane would have won that.
He'd have been very high up on it, and that's and again, he doesn't stop Marcus Rashford missing a pen, or Jadon Sancho missing a pen, or Saka missing a pen. That's the only frustrating thing, like about when you put so much narrative into those 2 weeks or 4 weeks. It's like, really, Georgie, that's the one. I've got no problem, again, I keep saying this before, Messi winning, it's fine, because he's Messi, he's brilliant. I would have given it to Lewandowski personally, but again, I'm probably a bit biased, but that's the only thing that might hinder Mo Salah, is if Egypt have a poor AFCON, and someone else goes and wins it, that's what we might do.
I don't think that matters. When Mahrez, when Van Dijk won it, right? Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I did look this up last night. But when Van Dijk should have won it and came second and won the European Player of the Year, didn't he? Do you remember? Mahrez had won the AFCON in the summer with Algeria and the English treble, which had never been done before by any team ever, and he finished 10th. Now, don't get me wrong, he wasn't a forefront player for City. He was the leader for Algeria. But had that been... let's think of a German player, or Leroy Sané played really well for Bayern Munich, won the treble for them, the domestic treble or double, whatever it is, and then gone and won the World Cup and absolutely dominated for Germany. Sorry, the Euros for Germany. He would have won the Balon d'Or.
Yeah.
But because it's Mahrez, because it's AFCON, it's not seen as big. But again, it comes down to that PR. If Salah did what Mahrez did, even though if Liverpool didn't win the European Cup, I think Salah would win it, because that treble and that international, because of who you are.
Yeah, and also, but as pointed out, we are fortunate that the Liverpool name actually carries a bit of weight as well. So being successful for Liverpool is more eye-catching than being successful for Manchester City.
Yeah. And winning the European Cup.
Yeah,
helps.
Yeah,
like City didn't win it. Like again, if City would have won the Champions League last year, I bet Kevin De Bruyne is a little bit higher than he is now. Again, he's probably lucky to be in where he got voted. By the way, he didn't have a particularly great season. He didn't have a particularly great Euros, but he's fucking brilliant.
Well, he won PFA last year and he didn't have a great season. So that just shows you how it works, doesn't it?
He is brilliant. But yeah, it's that's the thing, isn't it? The Balon d'Or in everyone's head is who is the best football player in the world. And it's not. That's not what it is. There's far too much around. It's who had the best season and who's got the best PR and what country you're born in and well, did your team do well? Even though like Mo Salah scored 32 goals in a season once and didn't finish 7th in the like that. You know what I mean?
I think he was top 3, wasn't he? That year?
He finished third. He finished 3rd, and Mane probably finished 4th once, didn't he?
That was the year after, wasn't it?
So that's the thing, is that it's all weird. Like that's the thing.
I think there's a degree to which it's Messi's award, generally speaking,
and you've got to earn it off him.
And you've got to just be. It's like there's learning via osmosis. It's like it's a weird, like, you just know when someone's it's just accepted that they're gonna do it, and that's why the Lewandowski thing's a little bit mad, but you'll know. It's like, it's why we felt Virgil was robbed, because it was just so obvious that he was just huge. He was bigger than the sum of his parts. He was bigger than his role as a centre half in a football team that year, and that hasn't actually changed. But it was just, it felt right. You know, he had his face on the billboards and all that kind of stuff. He really felt like he'd come of age.
That was
Salah's on the path to that. Yeah.
That was worse than the Modric one, that wasn't it? Because at least Modric won the Champions League.
Yeah.
Messi won the league.
Yeah, ridiculous. The list, just for those of you who haven't seen it yet, joint 29th, Cesar Azpilicueta and Luka Modric, Gerard Moreno, Ruben Dias and Nicolo Barella. 26th, 25th, Phil Foden. 24, Pedri. That's a bit mad.
That's mad.
23, Harry Kane. 21, joint Lautaro Martinez and Bruno Fernandes. 20th, Riyad Mahrez. 19, Mason Mount. 18, Simon Kjaer.
So hang on.
That's
Fernandes
pure...
above Kane.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Simon Kjaer above Ruben Dias. I mean, again, maybe there's some narrative in
well,
that.
there's definitely...
the Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, exactly.
But again, see, that's it. It's not about football. That is the game, is it?
Yeah, Luis Suarez, 17. Neymar, 16. Sterling, 15. 14, Leonardo Bonucci, 13, Giorgio Chiellini.
You can't separate those two fellas. They're always together.
Too hard if they win it.
12, Romelu Lukaku. 11, Erling Haaland. 10, Gigi Donnarumma. 9, Kylian Mbappe. 8, Kevin De Bruyne. 7, Mo Salah. 6, Cristiano Ronaldo. 5, N'Golo Kante. 4, Karim Benzema. 3, Jorginho.
3, Jorginho. 2, Lewandowski.
And 1, Lionel Messi. There you go. That is that. So yeah, we're on the road to Salah d'Or 2022.
Predict then, between the three of us, who's going to win it this year?
Salah. Liverpool are going to win the European Cup this year, and Mohamed Salah. Egypt are going to get knocked. No,
I don't think they'll win that.
Egypt are going to get knocked out in the group stages of the thing, so he's fit enough to do it for us.
It's supposed to be in January. Helps people going to forget by the time they vote. I think Mo Salah.
The worst thing that could happen for Mo Salah, by the way, is Sadio Mane winning the AFCON. Because
if Liverpool win something, he's like, oh shit.
Ooh, double bubble, yeah. He scored 40 more goals. I'm gonna go mad here and throw it out there, and I think that Mbappe's gonna win it, because I think PSG are gonna learn a harsh lesson from what happened to Man City and win the European Cup. I really want Liverpool to win it. I really, really do. But I just think sometimes, like, yeah, that's just my...
Don't like, again... I think if it's not Salah, it'll be Lewandowski, because I think the general
Ryan Giggs vibes.
The PR has already very much started. Even in his exceptions, Leo Messi's like, I'm so sorry, mate. Like, I am so sorry about this.
You can have it on weekends.
Honestly, I am really. I'm almost embarrassed about how bad this is. I'm going to turn the lights on the Eiffel Tower now, but before I do it, I'm just saying sorry. That's what he done. It was it was almost embarrassing for him.
It's not going to be Neymar, is it? By the way,
he's injured now, isn't he?
Done, he? See his foot.
Ooh,
see you later.
Horrible that. Right, yeah, we're going to chat Merseyside derby in a moment, but we have got an incredible, not just one competition, but 25 competitions starting on the 1st of December for our incredible Redmen Plus Club Legends. Here's some more details from a wonderful man.
Hey guys, Steve here with some excellent news for you. Usually throughout the year we do a monthly draw for all our amazing Club Legend subscribers. Well, in the month of December, it's the festive period and we're feeling kind, we're feeling giving. So what we're going to be doing every single day from December 1st right up until Christmas Day is a daily draw for all our Club Legend subscribers. We've got some amazing prizes to give away as well. We're going to go through those shortly, but what we're going to do is show you how you guys can make sure your name is in the hat to win some of these amazing gifts and prizes. So if you are not a subscriber to Redmen Plus, if you want to go and join now, it's very, very simple. Go to the Redmen TV website, you click the button that says join us. From there, sign up, join as a Club Legend, either on a monthly subscription or as a yearly subscription, and you guys will automatically be entered into every single one of these prize draws. If you are one of our Club Captain subscribers and you want to upgrade your account to become a Club Legend, very, very simple how you do that. From the homepage, you click the My Account button, and follow the steps there to upgrade again, either a monthly or a yearly subscription. Very, very simple. So what amazing prizes have you got, I hear you ask? Well, let me tell you that. We've got a book from Mona Nemba, the Liverpool's head of nutrition. We've got a signed picture of Michael Owen. We've got a Hendo 10 box full of goodies. We've got DVDs, we've got socks, we've got a signed author's edition of our Hendo 10 book. We've got a signed medal signed by former Liverpool striker Michael Owen. We've got our new DVD, Let's Talk About 6. We've got calendars. We've got a signed picture from Liverpool captain Jordan Henderson. We've got every single one of our new Christmas sweaters. You can see them behind me here. All of them, they are flying out of the store, but you can get one for free if you are a signed shirt. What you do to be in the draws is be subscription to Club Legend and YouTube.
On stay quick check. Yes, so as mentioned before, it is the last day of a Freeview month, but it kicks us into December. You've got 2 tiers of subscriptions over there. Club Captain gets you all the content. Club Legend is a bit more like a Patreon for us, where you get access to the Club Legend Discord chat, and you get free merchandise, and you get extra bonus features. You get to be on the Club Legend show as well, and all that kind of stuff. But as an extra bonus, I get 25 days worth of giveaways. So if you want to be in with a chance of winning that, start your Club Legend subscription. It's £10 a month, but you get this incredible a wealth of extra benefits as well to it, as well as the full suite of Redmen Plus content.
And 25 boss prizes.
Yeah,
some good stuff.
I'm really pleased with the stuff on there. I think there's a chance we've been a bit stupid. We do this every year where we normally do like a Christmas hamper giveaway, and I always go at the end, I go, I think we've given too much away. But like that Kenny Dalglish shirt, like those signed shirts that go for like, they're hundreds. The club shop sell them for like 300 odd quid. We've got the signed Hendo print in there and all kinds. And there are presumably some Michael Owen fans out there still.
There's some, if nothing else, save it till he dies and sell it.
Gotta speculate to accumulate,
Didn't expect that to
did
come
not expect that to come. But
It's a capitalist world. We're all living in it. If you can't beat him, join him.
Yeah. Oh, and lastly as well, we did a video last week, with Jordan Henderson's dad, Brian Henderson, the raising money for cancer treatment and diagnosis up in Sunderland. It was the unit that actually saved Jordan's dad's life. Needs some equipment to help better diagnosis or whatever, but you can win the signed match-worn Henderson shirt from the Man United 5-0 win over Man United at Old Trafford, I should say. Watch that video, it's on YouTube, and there's a link in there to the Just Giving and stuff. I just thought I think that's the 10th that ends, so yeah, keep going on that as well. Anyway, loads of stuff to keep you entertained. Right, sound. Let's talk Merseyside derby. Sam Walker, how you feeling about things? The Blue Noses Wednesday night.
Do you know what? Like, it's the perfect storm, isn't it? Obviously, what's going on with them at the minute, we don't even need to, everyone knows the shite. Injuries galore, can't win a game of football, got our old manager in charge. But personally, I'm looking at the Liverpool side of things first. I think usually we go into the derby confident, but like a bit wary, a bit. We're not quite sure. Not quite front foot. Are we going to be conservative? But the revenge tour, which keeps hearing you talking about, and we've talked about over the weeks. The Atletico Madrid win was huge. Definitely helped at Old Trafford. That's massive. This last week, the way the players have got back fit again, the midfield three, Matip having a week off, Robbo back at his best. It's going to take some serious effort from Everton to put it into us. They're capable of doing that, but my personal opinion is I think we go into that game striding into it with real confidence and wanting to put them to the sword. You can't help but feel. I remember I've listened to. In fact, some Man United fans were talking to me about our pre-Man United build-up show and saying how we were talking. It's like, what you're talking about? How you're going to win, not if you're going to win. And I always worry a little bit about that. But it does feel like if Everton are going to get something from this game, like a draw's not inconceivable. And look, we've dropped some mad points this season already, Steve. But I look at it, and in the absence of Dominic Calvert-Lewin, it's got like Phil Jagielka Thunderbolt style moments about, you know what I mean? Like it's going to take a moment of madness. It's not going to be a Everton are a better team and Everton play a better brand of football and we go toe to toe and they come out on top. It's gonna that's where you've got to be careful, because it's very hard to legislate for that. The only way to legislate for that is just to
score goals, lots of them.
And he went out sold us in this game last year, didn't he? I know with the injury to Van Dijk and Camden, but like Everton give it a go.
Well, they've been getting more like that over the last 2 or 3 seasons. I think was it Marco Silva's first Anfield derby? Was that the one where Andre Gomez misses that as that one blocked on the line? And they gave us a hell of a game that night. They've been getting closer, but it doesn't feel like they are.
They've gone back again. They were on the front in that game, scored a couple of goals. Liverpool obviously get one ruled out at the very end. Like both teams in different places now. We are one of the best teams in Europe, and they're shit, and that's where we're at now. So yeah, that's the thing, is that the only reason there's any it's a derby and what can happen and like that and any game blah blah. It's the cliches, but in every sense of the word, Liverpool are better than them at the moment. Like there was a debate even last season or the season before. You were like, when you do those combined 11s, and you could feasibly have put 3 or 4 Everton players in. It wasn't like Calvert-Lewin was in, and Decore might have been in there. There was an argument about Luca Dean, a genuine argument with him and Roberts. Like now it's 11, and the bench is all us as well. Like there's no one. It is though, and because Calvert-Lewin's injured, like I'll half hear a Decore argument if he's fit, because I think he's really good.
Yeah, he will be fit when
he's playing. But I mean, if he's 100%, he wouldn't be in the team, would he be on the bench on this bench? Like, there's even a Kelleher pick for debate to have genuinely. So that's where we're at. Like we're just way better than them. But Liverpool need to go in and do what they did to Arsenal. But like, yeah, we're just better than you. At some point we're going to score, and we'll keep saying, just don't be idiots at the other end. Like we did against Southampton today, we were idiots at times. Like Trent throwing the ball back to that lad, or Thiago trying to dive and header on the edge of his box, or like passing to Alisson with that stupid thing. That's the only way Everton win, by doing that. Or like you say, just a moment of absolute, like Andros Townsend can score from 40 yards because we've seen him do it. It's that type of thing. But if Liverpool play their game, like how are they stopping Jota, Salah and Mane from scoring 2 or 3 goals as a trio? We're getting goals from midfield. We look like we're a bit more of a threat off set plays again with Virgil back. So that's where I'm at with it. It would have to be a freak result for Liverpool not to win.
It's that, I think you point before, Sam, the revenge tour thing is massive here. We've done well on that so far. We're well up on last season. In those regards. This is the big one though. Like, really, I know Atletico was a lingering one from pre, the season before as well. This is the one. Like, you can't get away. I still have nightmares about this game last year, and the fact that, and it's funny how, if not for that mad VAR decision off Mane that drew the line from Mane's back when he's running away from goal, maybe we feel a bit more fondly, and maybe everything's a bit rosy. You don't know, of course, but this is the one where it's going to be horrible.
Oh yeah,
like Goodison Park is going to be horrible. It's going to be nasty, and all that angst and anger and aggression that they actually have towards their own players will be poured down on our players for a bit. And part of the revenge tour is taking that, withstanding it long enough to push it back onto the Everton players and the Everton manager.
It's interesting because, like last season when we played Everton, we weren't in as good a place as we are now. I know we were top. We might have been at the time. I don't think we were top at the time, actually.
It was only after we beat Spurs.
Yeah. So actually, like, we'd had it was the game after the Villa result, wasn't it? It was a bit. We needed to win at Everton to sort of propel ourselves back up. So, Thiago had only just joined, and Jota scored a goal yet.
Richarlison done him.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? And then obviously the Van Dijk thing, but. We dominated that game. We looked really comfortable, and then obviously they nicked a couple of goals, and then what happened at the end of the game, and that was them with their best team out there. They had Rodriguez, who was at the time doing okay for them. They had Gomez, who was sort of back in the tide. Everything was going for Everton, and he still scraped a 2-2, and we're lucky. I think the thing is with this game is that Everton, the only way they can get anything from this game is to play like Man United did against Chelsea. And they're going to have 2 players who aren't as good as Sancho and Rashford on the counter-attack against just as good, if not better, individual defenders, or better individually, maybe not as a unit. Like, Gray and Townsend are going to have to literally just play counter-attacking football. Otherwise, what are they going to do? Corners, they've got no Yari Mina. He's the guy who causes murder. So I think, like Steve says, it's going to take an absolute freak sort of set of results. I actually think we hammered them. They get a red card and concede a penalty, because that's what should have happened in many of these games. Barkley should have been sent off one year. Richarlison got a red, but so should have Pickford last year. What seems to happen with the officials is they go into the derby and they go, oh, this is the derby. You're allowed to kick each other a bit here. And Liverpool are always the team that fall foul of that.
Yeah.
You know, it used to happen at Anfield when we played Man U. Carragher's got away with one, was it Nani? But that's kind of stopped a little bit in those games now. But Everton seems to be allowed to do what they want. So I want to see Klopp today actually coming out and saying, you know what? Let's look at Pickford last year. Let's look at what Cresswell did. Let's look at what was the guy on Saturday.
Yeah, make them hate him because there'll be a guaranteed Twitter will be awash with Evertonians going about opening old wounds and talking about like the mental anguish that Jordan Pickford went through in the weeks afterwards and all that kind of stuff. Like,
yeah, my arse.
Honestly, like, you know.
Do you think Virgil? Sorry, we'll just try and lay one on him off a corner.
No,
not injuring him, but like I wouldn't mind going for 50-50 with him. Like I think the players in the past who would have done that. I don't think it's in Virgil's nature.
Virgil's the kind of guy, Steve, who'll just go up and score from a header.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's what he is. I think you've got some footballers who need to have a bit of that, certainly they need a bit of that. There's footballers who, you know, their moment arrives and it never works for them in their moments sometimes in those regards. Like it's funny, like Steven Gerrard's a bit like that, you know, like Steven Gerrard often projected himself as being ultra cool, but he's also the guy who fell over in a post-match interview when he slipped on the tiles. I think it was like Luton in the FA Cup, and he literally fucking fell off the camera, you know. And you know, sometimes Virgil feels to me like get a clean sheet, or score a goal, or have a moment where it looks like something's going to happen and square it and set, you know what I mean? Like that's the kind of thing. Yeah. But it's a massive game for him. The thing for me about this as well is that we were having this debate in the office yesterday. We're rubbish at Goodison. Like we genuinely, I think we've been so good against them for so long. Sam, you know, like when the fact that, you know, that was their first derby win in God knows how long last year, but we feel because of that like we've got a great record against them in general. We've only won twice in the last decade. You know, we beat them in 2016 with the Mane
second as well, by the way.
Yeah. In fact, we had you just both sort of hinted at it. Can you remember what the other win was?
In
this decade,
it was 2-0, wasn't it?
Yes.
This is the one I was talking about.
Andy Carroll scored.
Andy Carroll. And Luis Suarez.
Oh, right. I don't remember that game.
Yeah. And that was back in 2011. So that was the only other time we've beaten them at Goodison Park. You know, we beat them 2016 and 2011.
Well,
we drew 2-2. We had like, I think it's 3 or 4 0-0 draws prior to that.
Yeah. We had a
3 on the spin,
We had a 3-all as well. And then Sturridge's header.
That was the year we came second, wasn't it?
Sturridge, the header.
Because Sturridge and Suarez were playing maybe. Well, do you know what as well? That was there's proper history as well, because the season we got 97 points, the last game we dropped points was against Everton away. We went there and shit the bed. They upped it a bit and we shit the bed. We missed chances. The season we won the league and got 99 points, we came back from the lockdown. I know it's not ideal, but again, we went into that game sort of on the back foot and we didn't go at them and take.
And if Tom Davies doesn't miss a sitter, they
win the game. And again, it's avoidable. It's mentality. But for me, this season's different because we've gone to Atletico and won. We've gone and smashed Man United. That Man United win blows everything out the water. We've already beat Chelsea loads of times away. City is just too big a game to even consider a revenge. Sure. But this game is the last game, but it's not as big and hard as Atletico and Man U away. It's not. The crowd's not as big as Atletico, and they're not as good as United.
Yeah, you're right. It's like the final fortress of like that. We need to crack and we need to take over just to prove that we can.
I like
do
that.
it.
I like that. It's just a December night. I've got good memories of Everton away in winter. Remember that one when we went for 3-0 and I think Crouch scores, Cisse scores, doesn't he? I was at that one. We tend to do well at Goodison when it's an evening game because most derbies are early kickoffs or whatever. Like the fact that it's a Wednesday night again it's on Amazon, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like last time I watched the Reds on Amazon. I think against Everton was the 5-2 that got Marco Silva sacked when like Divock Origi's running through on his own like after like a minute. Like, what the fuck's like these are shit. And since then I've actually Everton I thought under Ancelotti were on the right path. And they were getting better, and I thought they were good. I thought they deserved to win an Anfield last season. I know it was a dodgy pen and stuff in the end, but they battered us. I thought they more than held their own in that 2-all. And obviously, again, they got a bit lucky. But now they're just shit.
Yeah, I'm going off there, mate.
It's all popping off.
My phone. Yeah, I don't even know. It's the wife. It's fine. She's just Everton shit as well. she wanted to get that involved. No, but it's like they are back to being the crap Everton. Who the fans hate them, they hate the manager, they hate all the players. They're coming over to clap them at the end of the game and they're getting told to go back in the changing rooms. Like they're in a bad place, and there's no one better to rub salt in wounds than us. Like if they were playing City today or tomorrow night, they all just know that you're going to get beat.
You've just got to do the expected thing, and that's what this Liverpool side's gotten loads better at doing, is with the boss. And they're not boss in a fragile way like we were a bit last season, particularly post-Virgil injury. We are expectedly boss. We just turn up in big games and win. And you're right, the United one's a watershed moment. I think that if you can go to that, because that's another one, horrendous record at Old Trafford. And, not even in like this one where there's draws. We lose games at Old Trafford, and should have lost. I mean, and to your point as well, like that last Old Trafford game pre-lockdown, where we draw that one because Adam Lallana has to come on and score. We're European champions there. We go on and piss the league. And yet we shit the bed at Old Trafford. It would be really nice if we could just go out there and put a display on and get them put to bed.
I think we will, by the way. I really think we will.
I do too.
The only thing, look, thinking about their lineup, obviously, Richarlison was suspended at the weekend, pending another suspension after this game, in my opinion. But their front three are all quite quick players. I think we've just got to be careful. We don't do what we did against West Ham, where they packed themselves in really deep with Decore and Allen and whoever else plays in the midfield. Don't even know who's fit to play there. And they played Gray, Townsend and Richarlison. Now we're talking about three subpar players here, but they could spring out. We've just got to be careful. We don't allow them to spring out at us when Trent's basically battering the door down at their end and Robbo at the other end.
Which is what this is what they tried to do against Manchester United, and they fell down on it being Rondon, didn't they? He had that one where he runs through, and it was like a man running backwards. It defied physics how he was able to. He got slower as
the City game or the...
No, United at Old Trafford. They went to Old Trafford and they gave it a go. They really, they defended deep, but they kept throwing.
Scored a good goal on the counter at Townsend. Yeah, remember.
Exactly. And they'll try and do similar. The hope is, and we had this where the timing was perfect, where we had Atletico Madrid and Manchester United, where we'd gone and played the better version of that. If you can score goals against Atletico Madrid, I know they're not quite the same, but to the point, they're very organised and they've got a bear pit atmosphere and they've got all that kind of stuff going on. If we can do that, hopefully, I think we've been prepping to come up against low block sides, and no one's really played a low block against us in the same way. I know there's a bit of West Ham, but also West Ham again, I've got then bodies to throw to throw at you as well. I don't like being cocky about the derby. It makes me feel really uncomfortable inside. And
Klopp's being cocky all the time. He thinks Everton are crap, and he's going to go there, and to be fair, he's going to pick his best team and he's going to expect them to win, and he should win because man for man we're better, team we're better player, the manager's better, everything's better about us at the moment. Like I say, it's Everton away and it's a Premier League away game. No, it's not going to be easy, but you can make it very easy.
They're expecting to lose as well, I think, which is a big part of that. And so it's not going to take... It's not like where Brentford expect to lose, but they go, well, who cares, because it's a free hit. Yeah. We're just going to enjoy ourselves and keep going and keep going and keep going. Like, if Everton do that, they might be all right, and they might actually win some of their fans over, to be fair, if they keep slugging away. But if we bury them...
And they think the manager's getting sacked tomorrow...
There's no coming back. If we get to 2... Probably 3, certainly. I don't see how there's possibly a way back for them into that game, because the fact, again, that's it. The vitriol turns. It's not about Liverpool anymore. They're playing against themselves. The fans are all of a sudden they're basically on our side, which is mad, isn't it? But yeah, fingers crossed we can get that done, because I don't need to live in that world. I've asked this before. Have you got many Blues in your life?
Only a couple of mates, but one of my mates, in fact, I've got two good mates, and they're both, one lives in Ireland now, so he's hiding away, supports some Irish team, he keeps sending out WhatsApp group messages. I hope one of the lads is watching to send this to him, but yeah, he's actually a very sensible Blue, and one of the other mates, Nick, he's a very sensible Blue. The only Blues that are in my life that are bitter, they're not in my life, they're just like members of the footy team or cricket club or something like that, but I don't have any close to me. Couple of cousins, but yeah, I don't really speak to them for you know what I mean. Like, but I'm quite surrounded by Reds. My brother's a Spurs fan, so that's another story for another day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, it's just interesting. Let's Chill sends a super chat in saying buzzing for 2024 when Jude Bellingham was bossing the midfield and the cops singing "Hey Jude." I'm here for that. Here for that all day long.
Right itself, that one, doesn't it? Yeah. Sometimes the cop needs to get creative for a song. That's fine. It's done.
Yeah.
What minute does Rafa come out then? The song.
Oh my God!
If imagine we're 5-0 up in the 85th minute and we sing their song, Rafa's meme.
If we thought the Ole's at the wheel chant went off at Old Trafford. Can you imagine? We've actually got a proper song for Rafa with verses and all kinds. Two.
Rafa Benitez. Get that one out.
Yeah. Oh my God, we've got a Rafa Benitez songbook. Like, right, there we go, everyone, lads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, definitely. Can't wait for that. There we go.
We need Manny to score. We need Manny Christmas. We need Merry Christmas Everton back over this winter. The fact that it happened on the 1st of December, we can use it for a good couple of weeks as well.
Yeah, that would be absolutely astounding. Yeah, there's so much more to win here.
It's more than 3 points.
There's more at stake than 3 points.
There's content to be made and songs to be sung.
Next year's Christmas jumpers.
And merch to be sold,
absolutely. That is it. Loads of great stuff coming up from us. If you haven't checked the build-up show out already, then do that. More chat around the Ev as well. I'm going to be sitting down with one of the Toffee TV lads today.
They're fighting each other currently of who gets the honour. They're not. It's the opposite. You do it.
Neither of them wants to do it, but I will be dragging one of Baz or Peds in front of camera to chat Merseyside Derby. That'll be streaming on Redmen Plus. So yeah, if you want to use the Redmen Plus free-month Freeview code, then you'll get the Oppo preview for that, as well as Around the League yesterday, which was talking about Norwich.
Not Leeds.
Sorry, my Leeds are poo, which is always good fun as well. The debate show is Wednesday. There is the Jano Insight show with Neil Jones on Thursday as well, where I'm going to be asking about the Nat Phillips to West Ham links and the Joe Gomez to Aston Villa links as well, amongst other things. Yeah, there's loads of amazing stuff and all the documentaries and features, and the Melwood video is going out later on this week as well. Yes. Anyway, thank you, gents. Absolute pleasure. Fingers crossed we smash the Blues everywhere and come back smiling for another Redmen podcast next week. All the best. Everyone, thanks so much for watching. If you want more from us, then please do consider joining Redmen Plus, our Liverpool streaming service, with extra shows, bonus features, interviews, and incredible documentaries like Netflix for Liverpool fans. We've got the club captain and the club legends here. If you join as a club legend, you get your name in this wonderful list here. Look at them wonderful legends. Anyway, Redmen Plus on the redmentv.com. Join up.